At my sister's wedding, her ex-best friend stormed in wearing white, screaming, "He should have married me, not her." She grabbed a wine glass, smashed it on the dance floor, and declared loudly, "I deserve this life." Security tackled her before she could throw anything else. Footage of the disaster hit TikTok before the first dance finished, and she became an overnight meme as Wedding Crasher of the Year. I never thought I'd spend my sister's wedding night kneeling on a sticky dance floor, wiping up red wine while people whispered and stared. They weren't looking at me, though. They were looking at her. Let me back up. My name's Mallory. I'm 32 and live in Flagstaff, Arizona. My younger sister, Bryn, is 29. She got married in March. Small-town wedding. Nothing too fancy, but my parents saved for it. The reception was at a vineyard just outside Sedona. Real nice place. Brick walls, soft lights, live band, open bar. Everything was going right. Then it all went to hell. We should have known better. We should have known she'd try something. Her name is Vanessa. Used to be Bryn's best friend. From middle school, all the way into their late 20s. They were like sisters. Slept over every weekend. Went to college in the same town. Took road trips together. Knew each other's secrets. But their friendship was never equal. Vanessa was the one in charge. Loud, funny, always the center of attention. Bryn was quieter. She followed Vanessa's lead. That's just how it was. Always. Looking back, there were signs. Vanessa had this way of putting Bryn down jokingly, but it stuck. She'd say stuff like, "Bryn's the reliable one, but I'm the fun one." Or, "If I had her loyalty and my looks, I'd be unstoppable." It always had a bite to it. Then Bryn met Derek. He's solid. Kind. Works in tech. Not flashy, just dependable. They met at a friend's barbecue. Started dating, moved in together after a year. He proposed 2 years ago. Simple proposal at home. Just the two of them. Bryn called me crying, happy tears. I was excited for her. Vanessa, though? Not so much. At first it was little jabs. Wow, he must be desperate. Did he not have his glasses on when he picked the ring? Stuff like that. But then she got weirder. She started texting Derek. First it was harmless, memes, old photos, random stuff. Then it got uncomfortable. Flirty. She once sent him a video of her in a bikini saying "miss these summers" with no context. Derek told Bryn right away. That's when Bryn confronted her. Vanessa exploded. Sent her a long message saying she and Derek had a connection. That she met him first. That she'd backed off to be a good friend, but he always looked at me like he wanted more. She claimed she was the reason Bryn even got to date him, that she stepped aside. It was delusional. Derek barely remembered meeting her before he and Bryn got serious. They were never alone. Never close. He showed Bryn all the messages. Nothing ever happened. But that didn't stop Vanessa. Bryn blocked her. Cut ties. We all thought that was the end. It wasn't. Vanessa kept popping up. Fake accounts. Emails. Even sent Derek flowers once, signed, "Your real bride." It was disturbing. We had to get a lawyer to send a cease and desist. Told her to stay away. No contact. Stay out of our lives. Fast forward to the wedding day. Everything looked perfect. Bryn in her dress, the vineyard glowing with string lights. Guests smiling. My parents crying during the vows. I was maid of honor. Everything was calm. Until the scream. I told you this was a mistake. The music stopped. Every head turned. And there she was. Vanessa. Wearing a full-length white dress. Not cream. Not light pink. White. Silk. Backless. Looked like a damn wedding gown. She stood in the center of the dance floor like it was hers. He should have married me, not her, she shouted. Gasps. Silence. A few people laughed nervously, thinking maybe it was a prank. It wasn't. I deserve this life, she screamed again, then grabbed a wine glass from a nearby table and threw it at the wall. It shattered loud as hell. Wine everywhere. Someone yelled, "Get her out of here." But she wasn't done. She tried to grab another glass, but two security guards tackled her hard. One of her heels snapped. She hit the floor kicking and screaming. "You took everything from me, Bryn." She kept yelling as they dragged her outside. Dress twisted, hair a mess.
She spit at the ground.
"I hope you rot with him." I looked over at Bryn. She wasn't crying, just frozen, staring at Vanessa like she didn't recognize her. Within minutes, people had their phones out. Someone posted the video on TikTok. Before the first dance, Vanessa was already a meme. Wedding crasher of the year.
Videos, jokes, edits.
All over the internet. People thought it was funny, but I didn't. I knew this wasn't about jealousy. This wasn't just a meltdown. This was war. Vanessa wanted to ruin Bryn's life.
She thought she had the right.
And I knew one thing for sure. I wasn't going to let her get away with it. After the wedding disaster, we thought things might finally settle down. We were wrong. Bryn and Derek didn't go on their honeymoon right away. Too much stress. Too much cleanup. Instead, they stayed at a nearby resort for a few nights to breathe. I stayed behind to help our parents and deal with the venue. Cleanup, vendors, insurance calls. It wasn't just a broken glass. Vanessa's wine toss hit one of the speakers. Fried the wiring. Stained an entire rug. Not to mention the viral videos. Some guests canceled their posts to avoid the drama, but others didn't. People tagged Vanessa's full name. Someone even dug up her old college photos. She went from ghosted ex-friend to internet joke in less than 48 hours. I thought she'd disappear.
But instead,
she leaned into it. She made a TikTok account, called herself @The Real Wedding Crasher, posted a video saying, "At least I was the main character." Another one said, "You can't steal what was never hers."
It was sick.
She was turning Bryn's pain into a brand. I showed the videos to Bryn. She shook her head, didn't say much, just walked outside and sat on the porch for an hour. I watched her from the window. Her wedding still wasn't even unpacked, her dress still in a bag by the door. I couldn't let this go. So I started digging. I remembered something Vanessa once said years ago, back when we were all younger. She was drunk at a family barbecue and told me she had dirt on everyone. She said, "People are so fake. I keep receipts." At the time, I thought she was just drunk talking. Now I started to wonder, what kind of receipts? I went looking. Vanessa still had an old blog linked to her Facebook. Buried deep in the archive, I found entries with initials. BC had a scare, but I convinced her to handle it. DM doesn't know I saw his texts. Stuff like that. It didn't make sense at first, until I figured out BC stood for Bryn Carter. Our last name. The scare? That wasn't just gossip. It was real. Asked Bryn straight out. She didn't want to talk at first, but then she finally told me. Quietly. Vanessa was the only one who knew Bryn got pregnant in college. She was 20. It was a mistake, and she miscarried early. Never told Derek. Never told anyone but Vanessa. My stomach dropped. Vanessa had that secret. She could use it. And now she was unhinged and online and playing to strangers like it was a game. It wasn't a game anymore. I made a new plan. Not revenge. Exposure. I started messaging people from Vanessa's past. Former coworkers. Old roommates. A few girls from her sorority. I didn't lie, just said she had a breakdown at a wedding, and we were worried. People started talking. And wow, did the stories come. One girl said Vanessa stole her boyfriend in college, then sent her fake messages pretending to be him. Another said she moved out after Vanessa, accidentally, deleted her job application from their shared computer. One woman said Vanessa keyed her car during a fight. She had proof, but dropped the charges when Vanessa's dad begged her not to press them. Pattern after pattern. Manipulation. Obsession. Control. I compiled everything. Screenshots. Messages.
Videos.
I had receipts. Then I waited. Until Vanessa made her next post. It was a fake apology video. She wore soft makeup. Quiet music. I was going through something. I'm sorry if anyone was hurt. In the comments, people were defending her. saying she was brave for owning it. That's when I posted. Not for my main account. I made a burner. And I dumped everything. Link to her old blog. Screenshots of her texts to Derek. Statements from old roommates. A voice memo of her bragging about ruining lives. It blew up.
Fast.
Her comments turned. People started unsubscribing. Her sponsors, yes, she had gotten some, backed off. One brand publicly dropped her. Her follower count tanked. Then came the kicker. Someone from her old job messaged me privately. Said Vanessa didn't just lie about Bryn's wedding. She'd been lying on her resume. Claimed to have a degree she never finished. Used fake references. The company started an investigation. By the end of that week, she was fired. Bryn didn't even know half of it yet. She was still trying to heal. But I was just getting started. A week after Vanessa got fired, I thought maybe that would be the end of it. She'd lost her job. Her online following crumbled. People weren't laughing with her anymore. They were laughing at her. But then came the envelope. No return address. Just Bryn's name, written in shaky cursive, slid into her mailbox at the resort. Inside was a photo of Derek, asleep, in bed, next to a woman whose face you couldn't quite see. Just enough skin. Just enough implication. And a note. All that digging you did, Mallory, but you forgot to look in your own backyard. Bryn called me sobbing. Is it real? She kept asking. Was it recent? Is he cheating? I took one look and said no. I was sure of it. I knew Derek. This was Photoshop. This was desperation. But Bryn was spiraling. She'd spent the past week trying to hold it together. And this, it cracked something in her. Derek swore he didn't know the woman. He offered to take a polygraph. Gave over his phone, his laptop, everything. Still, the damage was done. Vanessa had planted the seed. It wasn't just a picture. It was doubt. The kind that rots people from the inside. Bryn started pulling away. She barely talked to Derek. Barely ate. Said she needed time. And that's when I snapped. I was done playing clean. I stopped reacting. And started watching. Vanessa had gone quiet online. But her IP wasn't hidden. One of my friends works in IT and owed me a favor. We tracked the anonymous email that sent the photo to Bryn's inbox a day before the envelope showed up. It came from a Starbucks Wi-Fi. In Sedona. Same place as the wedding. Same damn weekend. Vanessa had been there.
Nearby.
Watching. Probably even staged the photo herself. That's when something else clicked. The woman in the bed, her hand had a tattoo on the wrist. I zoomed in. I knew that tattoo. It was a tiny sun, with 3 dots. The same one Vanessa had posted on her own Instagram 4 years ago, after her transformational retreat. It was her. She posed as someone else. Took a photo of herself. Blurred it just enough. Slid it into Bryn's life like a knife. She wanted to ruin her wedding. And now she was trying to ruin her marriage. But the next twist? That one came from Derek. A few nights later, he showed up at my door.
Pale.
Angry. Mallory, he said, voice shaking. There's something I haven't told Bryn. I braced myself. Back when we first got engaged, he said, Vanessa came to my work, unannounced. She sat in the parking lot for 2 hours. I stared at him.
What?
She waited for me to come out. Got in my car before I could stop her. Said she needed closure. Said she knew I wanted her. I told her to get out. She kissed me anyway. My jaw dropped. I pushed her off. I didn't kiss her back. But I didn't tell Bryn. I thought it'd only hurt her. And now I think Vanessa's using that against me. I wanted to hit him. But I also understood. He was scared. And stupid. But mostly, he gave Vanessa an opening. And now she was using it. I should have told Bryn right then. I should have walked Derek right into her hotel room and made him say it all to her face. But I didn't. I told him I'd handle it. I thought I was doing the right thing. Thought I was protecting her. I was wrong. A week passed. Vanessa stayed quiet online. But behind the scenes, she was still moving. I found out from an old friend of hers, someone I messaged during my digging, that Vanessa had checked into a wellness retreat in Tucson. Sounded innocent. But this retreat? It was for influencers. She was filming a docuseries. About the wedding. About forbidden love. About how she was silenced and betrayed by everyone she trusted. She was going to flip the narrative. Turn herself into the victim. Sell her own version of the story before Bryn, or Derek, could even breathe. I called the retreat. Left voicemails. Emailed the director. Nothing. They didn't care. They thought it was edgy. That it would spark conversation. I had to stop her. But I couldn't go through her. So I went through the footage. Remember the wedding video? The one from the actual hired videographers? They were still editing it, but I convinced them to send me raw clips. I told them it was urgent. That's when I found the gold. There was footage from before Vanessa stormed the floor. From the parking lot. A zoom lens caught her talking to a stranger. The guy who let her in. He worked for the catering company. Just a runner, maybe 19 or 20. She flirted with him. Promised him money. He let her through the back without checking the guest list. But that's not the important part. In her hand, a small white USB stick. In the next clip, she's seen slipping it under the DJ table behind the sound mixer. I called the DJ.
Told him to check.
Sure enough, it was still there. We opened it together. Inside, audio files.
Dozens of them.
Recordings.
Of me.
Of Bryn. Of Derek. Vanessa had been recording us for months. She'd used old phones, voice memos, even bugged a gift she gave Bryn once. She edited clips to make it sound like Derek cheated. Like I helped him. It was a setup. She wanted to drop it live at the wedding, over the speakers. She'd planned to ruin the marriage in front of everyone. She just got tackled too soon. I felt sick. I drove straight to Tucson. I didn't even call Bryn. I stormed into that retreat. Security tried to stop me, but I pushed past. I found Vanessa sitting in a fake interview chair with cameras on her. They were filming. She smiled like she won. "You can't stop this," she said. "It's my truth." I laughed in her face and played the audio from my phone. The original clips. Unedited. With timestamps. Then I showed the footage of her planting the USB. Her bribing the kid at the wedding. The cameras kept rolling. I didn't care. "You're done," I said. "Try spinning this." She lunged at me. Screamed that I ruined everything. The crew pulled her off. The producer cursed. Shut it down. They cut her from the project that night. I gave all the files to my lawyer. Bryn's too. Vanessa was sued for defamation, harassment, privacy violations, even trespassing. She settled, quietly. Had to pay out more than she had. Her car got repossessed. Her TikTok got banned. Sponsors blacklisted her. She lives back with her mom now, outside Prescott.
No job.
No platform. No friends. But here's the thing. I wasn't innocent either. When Bryn found out I had known about the kiss, that Derek told me first. She stopped talking to me for a while. She felt betrayed. "I thought you were the one person who told me everything," she said. And she was right. I was so focused on protecting her, I didn't think about what that would do to her trust. It took time. Months. But slowly, she forgave me. She and Derek are still together. Still working on it. They never had the honeymoon they planned. But last month, they drove up the coast.
Just the two of them.
No phones. No cameras. And me? I learned the hard way. Revenge doesn't fix everything. But sometimes, it's the only way to end it. Vanessa wanted a spotlight. All I did was show people who she really was when it hit her. And she'll never live it down.